What's up, guys? Welcome back to Chiefs Chat. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at our 2022-2023 opponents. We don't have the full schedule out yet, so we don't know when it is that we're going to be playing these teams, but we do know where these games are going to be held and who exactly we're going to be playing for the entirety of the 2022-2023 regular season. So that's good to look at. It's good to see, what exactly we're in for here for this upcoming season. And, let's go ahead and put the graphic up. Pop! Okay, we got the graphic up. Okay, so you guys can see right there pretty much who it is that we're playing, home and away, right there, all listed perfectly. One thing I will note is that we have more away games than home games. That's just kind of how it worked out this season. It's a little unfortunate, but you know what, man? It's all right. We're a great football team. But as you guys can see, first glance here, it's looking tough. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but this is a hard schedule, okay? So let's break this down team by team, okay? Let's start with home. Let's just go through all the home teams first. Of course, you got the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers. We play them every single year, twice a year. We're going to be playing them at Arrowhead Stadium. And the thing about our division is the AFC West, it's a tough division, okay? It just is. The Chargers are on the, they're really on the rise here with Justin Herbert, a really good young quarterback. Derek Carr, he's been doing great with his football team. The Raiders, they have a fantastic squad. And really, they snuck into the playoffs. And I don't see them making the playoffs next season, but I do see them as a solid football team. So I got to give them respect there. They're a good group. They're fantastic. We did crush them in the two games we played, this past season. But you know what, man? I think they're still a squad. They're still a team that's capable of defeating the Chiefs. Do I think it'll happen necessarily? I'm not too sure about that. I wouldn't put my money on that. But they're still a solid team. I got to give them respect there. And the Broncos are kind of the only team that I'm not really worried about, unless they score like a Deshaun Watson or an Aaron Rodgers or a Russell Wilson in this offseason. I don't see them doing anything. So the Broncos, I think that's going to be an easy couple of wins here for home and away for them. But really, when we're talking about being in Arrowhead Stadium, I think we are capable of beating all three of these teams. So I'm not too worried about the AFC West. The Chargers are the only team that kind of worries me. They got a pretty solid offense. I mean, if they can figure out that defense, they're looking pretty good. But Justin Herbert, he's got some weapons. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler. They've got a lot of fantastic players on that offense. So Chargers are kind of the team that I'm looking for in the AFC West. But let's move on. Let's go to the rest of the home games. And let me tell you, it's looking a little tough, okay? It's looking a little tough. It's not looking good. I think the NFL is really looking at the Chiefs as the team to beat, so they're throwing a lot of tough teams at us this year. Okay, first things first, we got the Tennessee Titans coming to Arrowhead Stadium. Now, they did beat us pretty bad this past season, but I do think we're capable of beating the Titans. I'm not sure what happened in this postseason. They had the number one seed going up against the Bengals in the divisional round, and they didn't do anything. It was upsetting to see. So the Titans, I'm not sure if I can really see them and picture them doing anything in the postseason. When it comes to the regular season, maybe they can make some noise, maybe they can generate some hype. But really, do I see them beating the Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium? I honestly don't. I just do not see that at all. Derrick Henry, he can do some great things, but I think we have proven that we can shut him down, at least on the ground, okay? In that game this past season when they beat us pretty bad, he didn't really do much on the ground. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed that, but he really didn't do much on his feet. He threw the ball. He threw a touchdown. We didn't expect that. But on the ground, he didn't do much. I think we are doing a pretty good job, especially compared to the other running backs that we've had problems with in the past. I think we can contain Derrick Henry. I don't think he's going to be too much of a problem in this game. So the Titans, they are a very good team. And like I said, these are some tough teams we're playing, okay? The Titans, I will admit, they are definitely capable of beating this Chiefs team. It just depends. It really does just depend on whether or not we can stop Derrick Henry. And that's really what it's all about. Every time you play the Titans, if you can stop number 22, you're good, okay? You're fine. And I do trust that the Chiefs are going to be able to do that. We've got some great young linebackers. So there it is for the Titans. And then, of course, they gave us the Rams, okay? The reigning Super Bowl champions. We're going to have to play them at Arrowhead Stadium. Now, when I look at the Rams team, I mean, they're just stacked, okay? They've got a lot of stars on that team. Aaron Donald is probably going to be back. Of course, they got OBJ, Cooper Kupp, They have some cap issues to work out. They've got some financial problems. But I don't see them having a hard time bringing everyone back and trying to make another run at a Super Bowl. So they should be Super Bowl contenders next year. Do I think they're going to march into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs? It's going to be a tough task. That's going to be a really good game. And definitely one I think a lot of people are going to be watching for. But do I think the Chiefs are capable of beating this Rams football team? Absolutely. I mean, really, when you take a look at it, I think we are capable of beating every single one of these teams. It's just a matter of, oh man, these guys, they might give us a run for our money, and I think the Rams are definitely one of those teams. They're pretty solid. They're just, obviously they just won the Super Bowl, so they're a good team. Matthew Stafford, he's just a solid quarterback. I mean, we all saw it in the Super Bowl. He's great. So he definitely has the capabilities to put this team down. Am I worried about it? A little bit, but I do think that we can put this Rams team down. If we play our best game, we got them figured out. Okay, next, we got the Jaguars. That's thank you NFL for giving us that game. We are playing the AFC South this year, so the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be on the schedule, and luckily we have them at Arrowhead Stadium. That should be a cakewalk. I do not expect that game to be close. Bills. I'm scared, okay? The Bills, in my personal opinion, are the second best team in the NFL, behind the Chiefs, of course. They're just a great football team, okay? We all saw what they did against us in the divisional round. I mean, they were just a fantastic team. Josh Allen, in my opinion, is the second best quarterback in the NFL. They've just got a fantastic squad. They're a great team. They're just a fantastic football team. Defense is looking fantastic. They got some fantastic, Tre'Davious White, Micah Hyde. They got some great players back there. And on offense, you got Josh Allen. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. One of the best duos, in my opinion, in the entire NFL. I think, they just have a fantastic squad. It's going to be hard to slow them down. It just is. So that game is one that I'm, frankly, a bit worried about. The Bills, they're just a good team. They just are, all around, in my opinion, the second best team in the National Football League. Now, the key to that game is going to be defense, and really a lot of this has to do with what the Chiefs can do in the offseason, trying to bolster up that defense, because in the divisional round, Gabriel Davis, their wide receiver 4, was the guy who was tearing us up. So, I mean, we need depth. We really do need depth at the cornerback position, and hopefully we can get some more of that this offseason. Frankly, we need it, okay? Moving on, okay, the last home game will be against Seattle. And honestly, I think a lot of people sleep on Seattle. A lot of people think that Seattle is a worse team than they actually are. DK Metcalf, in my opinion, is a top 15, maybe even top 10 wide receiver in the NFL. And of course, you got Tyler Lockett, you got Russell Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, they just got a great, fantastic team. Bobby Wagner is a fantastic linebacker. He's going to lead that defense. Jamal Adams is still there. He can make a great impact. So they've got a lot of stars on that team. And I really do see the Seahawks being a playoff team this next season. Do I think they can beat the Chiefs? No. But do I think they could give us a run for our money? Absolutely, I do. I think the Seahawks are a great team. And again, a lot of this has to do with whether or not the Chiefs can get help in the secondary this offseason. DK Metcalf, he is a big physical receiver. Very, very fast. Okay, we need guys that can get up there and stop him. It's going to be tough, to get Chartavius Ward on him. It's going to be tough to put Rashad Fenton on him. We've just got some small guys who really, in my personal opinion, aren't capable of guarding DK Metcalf one-on-one. So that's really going to be the key to that game, whether or not we get good corners this offseason. Really, I think that's our number one need. So if we can do that, that game definitely more manageable for the Chiefs. But if we can't do that, it's going to be tough. Okay, so let's move on to the away games. Again, Raiders, Denver, Chargers, being at their stadium really doesn't scare me too much, Again, I think the Broncos are an easy win. Chargers, not so much, going to SoFi, that's going to be a little scary. Even though they don't really have a lot of fans, Sorry, Chargers, but you don't. And then, the Raiders, like I said, they're capable of beating us. Is it likely? No. But they're a solid squad. So, San Francisco is an away game that we got to talk about. They just made the NFC Championship. They're most likely going to go with their young quarterback, Trey Lance. He showed some signs of being a fantastic quarterback in his rookie season. Of course, Jimmy G was the guy who really did lead them to the NFC Championship game. But let's see if Trey Lance can do something. I really like the idea. I really like what's going on over there in San Francisco. They really do have a very good squad. They really do. They resemble the team that went to the Super Bowl and played the Chiefs a couple of years ago. They really do resemble that team, so I definitely can see them making some noise. I really do think that they have a good, solid team. Very good players on defense, And Trey Lance, he's a guy who I think can really elevate this team, especially with Deebo Samuel, the absolute weapon, number 19 on the Saints. He can do some great things. So really playing the Saints, the Chiefs having to go to San Francisco to play the 49ers. Sorry, I don't know why I said the Saints. The 49ers, it's going to be tough. They're a good team. And a lot of these teams are fantastic. That's what I'm saying. We just have a tough schedule. But do I think we're capable of beating this 49ers team? Absolutely. I'm not as worried about that game as I am about some of the other games, but definitely going to be a good one to watch. They just made it to the NFC Championship game. Good team, solid squad. Cincinnati, okay, playing the Bengals. I expect this to be a revenge game. Okay, I definitely expect this to be a revenge game. After the couple of games that we played Cincinnati this season, I just feel like we need a win. We need a win against this team. And honestly, I think we've got this team figured out. I just do, okay? I think the 2 times that they beat us this season, it was just luck. I honestly do think it was just luck. A couple of missed calls here and there they get the win. 2 very, very close games, went down to the wire. Cincinnati beat us in both of those games on a Evan McPherson game-winning field goal. It's that kind of game, it's that kind of thing. We fundamentally play this team fantastic, but it's just a couple of missed calls, a couple of tacky things here and there that really gives Cincinnati the win. So I think this right here needs to be a revenge game for the Chiefs, and I expect it to be. I expect the Chiefs to march into Cincinnati and beat the Bengals. That is exactly what I'm expecting out of this team. I think we've got them figured out, and I think we need to make a statement with that game. That's definitely the game that I'm going to be watching for this season, okay? Definitely one of the most important games I've got circled on the schedule, so I'm excited for that one. I definitely am. We got to make a statement in that game. We just got to tell them we deserve to be in Super Bowl 56. I think that's just a fact. I think everyone knows it. I think we'll solidify that statement by marching into Cincinnati and crushing Joe Burrow. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Moving on, Houston, again, we play the AFC South. So we get Houston, that's fantastic. That should be an easy win, regardless of whether or not we're in Houston, Kansas City. We could be in freaking China for all I care. We're beating the Texans, okay? That's not a good team. Colts, they can do some things. I'm not gonna sleep on them too much. They did narrowly miss the playoffs this season, but they have that guy, Jonathan Taylor, and he is a weapon, okay? Again, I don't trust our defense to be able to fully contain Jonathan Taylor, but if we can slow him down just enough to give our offense a chance to win that game, I'm feeling good. That's really what it's all about when we're going against these teams with very, very good running backs. We just got to try to slow them down a little bit, I'm not sure if I trust our defense to contain them. Hopefully we can do some things in the offseason that'll make me a little more confident. But yeah, that's kind of the key when playing the Colts. Jonathan Taylor's a fantastic running back. So we just got to slow him down, okay? Arizona, again, they're a good team. A lot of these teams are just really good. I really would not be surprised if we had the most difficult schedule in the NFL. But we're going to Arizona. We're going to play Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. Actually, maybe not Kyler Murray. Probably Kyler Murray. Honestly, I think all the drama is a little, a little premature. I think Kyler Murray is going to stay with the Cardinals. They do have DeAndre Hopkins. If that team stays healthy, they're just a good team. I think that's just a fact. I think everyone knows it. I think, what were they, 8-0, 9-0 last season until they finally got their first loss. So they were definitely looking like, a Super Bowl contending squad until they got knocked out in the first round by the LA Rams. But I really do think that they're going to put it together next year. I think they're going to be a solid squad. So that's another game where I'm like, I don't know. Really could go either way. Kyler Murray does surprise me sometimes. I think, he's a really he's a quarterback that can really, do some magical things on the football field, similar to Patrick Mahomes. So I do see the Cardinals putting up a good fight in that game. I just do. So that's definitely going to be another game we need to watch for. Tampa Bay. Now this is interesting, okay? They don't have Tom Brady. The rest of that team is very, very good. Obviously they were my team. They were my pick last year to go to the Super Bowl. I do think they have a very, very solid team. It's just a matter of who are they going to put at that quarterback spot. It's not going to be Tom Brady. So who's it going to be? Is it going to be Russell Wilson? Is it going to be what's his name? Deshaun Watson? Who is it going to be? If they can put a good guy on that quarterback spot, I think they can do some great things in that game. But I really don't see them upsetting the Chiefs. Even though it is at Tampa Bay, I think the Chiefs are going to win that game. I think it, could be seen as another revenge game, even though Tom Brady's not really on the team anymore. It definitely would be a little more satisfying to see us beat that team with Tom Brady on it, but he's enjoying retirement, so that's that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's a tough schedule. It's going to be a tough season, but honestly, I'm confident. And really, realistically, when you take a look at the Chiefs, I think everyone knows that they're a top-tier team in the NFL. I think most people regard the Chiefs as the best team in the NFL, regardless of the fact that we didn't make the Super Bowl last year. But still, people are looking at the Chiefs as the super team. People look at the Chiefs as the superpower of the NFL. It's going to be hard to take them down. So honestly, any of those teams, even though we do have a tough schedule, any of those teams, I can see us beating, Absolutely. So, hopefully that calms your nerve just a little bit, because honestly, it is a little scary to look at when you first take a look at it, but we're the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, let's not fool ourselves here. We're the fantastic. We're, frankly, the best team in the NFL, if you ask me. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next Chiefs chat. Peace out.